So this is the first time I've done a video in ages, and I have been meaning to do my psoriatic arthritis story. Now seems the best time as ever. Again, I'm waiting on my wee mammy. She's in at the dentist this time, so I'm sitting in the car. So here is my psoriatic arthritis story. I'll probably jump all over the place because I haven't planned what I'm going to say and what I'll remember, if I can remember it in order. But I'll just start off by saying psoriatic arthritis is a bitch. It is an absolute bitch. It has been horrendous. So around March, I think it was just here. It was just a little patch here, a little patch of dry skin. But like, you know, sometimes if it peels or it comes away and it starts healing, it goes away. This didn't, it kept coming back. I'm going to have to keep switching hands because it's just too sore to hold the phone. So this just kept coming back, wouldn't go away, and it was leading up to doing my PhD viva. So there was a chance that, you know, it was stress. I thought, oh, I'm just getting some blotches. I've never really had bad skin on my face, but I thought maybe it's just stress of the viva. And it did start getting, I think my head, my scalp had been itching like crazy leading up to it as well, which I've had on and off for years. And I just started getting, I think I started then getting a little patch here, which is still here now. It's got bigger, but it was a little patch of dry skin here. And then it was my elbows. So my elbows were really like white and flaky. And it hurt to lean on them. They were getting really, really itchy, but it was just the white flakiness, but they were getting really bad. And I just thought it was my dermatomyositis, because the dermatomyositis is myositis, but also with skin involvement. Now, I had never had that before with dermatomyositis on my elbows like that, and that kind of skin. But I thought, okay, I'll mention it when I see my consultant for my dermatomyositis, which I did, and he took one look at it and went, oh, that's psoriasis. And I was like, all right. So he ran, total legend, he ran round and grabbed a dermatologist and brought him quickly around to say, look, and he was like, yeah, 100% that's psoriasis. So they prescribed me some like shampoos for my scalp, and some stuff like, it's like Enstellar mousse. It is horrible. It's the stickiest thing ever. I'm not even good with cream. Like lotions and stuff, but this sticks to you. It does good, like in the sense that it will get rid of the build-up of skin, but it just comes back again. But I cannot bear the feel of it anyway. They gave me that, as well as some steroid creams. And then they did ask me at the time, the dermatologist asked me at the time, has anything stressful happened lately? And I said, well, actually, my PhD viva got cancelled 2 hours before it was due to happen. And they were like, oh, that'll do it. Because stress can flare up psoriasis. So then I just sort of, you know, plodded on with the creams. It definitely helped my scalp. My scalp cleared up after some time of using it. And then I can't really remember when the pain in the joint started, but I started getting this excruciating pain in my back, and I thought it was kidney stones. The doctors thought it was kidney stones, but I was screaming so much that my son was actually having nightmares that I was dying, my grown son, and he had said that if that continued, he would have to move out because he couldn't bear to hear me in so much pain, because this was like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. If I even moved in the slightest in my bed, it was like pure spasms going right up my back. Oh, it was absolutely horrendous. So I couldn't like lean on the chair, like lie on the couch. If I lay on it, it was fine laying on it, but then when you released off it, oh my goodness, it was absolutely excruciating. So I was going to the doctors. They were giving me dihydrocodeine, thinking it was kidney stones, and you know, they ordered an ultrasound scan, as you do. But they gave me that in the meantime, which I couldn't take because codeine makes me itch. And it makes you really, really, really constipated, and to hell with all that. But then I started getting pain everywhere. So my knees would be killing me, my hands, I can't even remember in what order, but I do remember just being really itchy and in so much pain. And I would get out of bed. It was just so painful just to even get out of bed, just to even stand and get out of bed, to get up out of bed and then to sit down on the toilet. The pain in my joints was just horrendous. So I had to get up. I would have to go in a shower because I found that helped ease things a wee bit. And then I would sit in the armchair in my bedroom with the painkillers and try and watch something on my tablet sitting next to me, because I just had to try not move, because moving hurt. It just hurt to move. Yeah, that was really bad. I can't even remember the order of how this all happened, but that was just so bad. And I kept going back to the doctors, and I was like, look, I am really struggling here. This pain is just so bad. So eventually they were like, right, I think we need to have your consultant see you again, because you clearly need help. So I went and seen my consultant, but just before I'd seen my consultant, you know, as you do your little Google search and stuff. So I had been watching YouTube videos on kidney stones, and I was like, part of it sounds right, but it doesn't add up to what I'm feeling. So then I came across psoriatic arthritis, and I thought, oh, and I watched YouTube videos of that, and I was like, this is what I have. This is what I have. And at this point as well, they kept taking my bloods, and my inflammation markers were up at like 58 or something, and they're not supposed to be that high. Like, I don't think they were ever even that high with the DM, dermatomyositis. So they were like, no, something needs to be done, something's not right. Seen my consultant, and then he was like, when did this pain start? And I says to him, it started with the psoriasis, and we both were like, And I said to him, he said, yeah, psoriatic arthritis. And I said, that's exactly what I'm thinking. And by this point, my knee was so swollen. So he scanned my knees, and he said, oh, you have so much fluid in your knees. And so he drained some fluid out of one of my knees and gave me a steroid shot straight into my knee, and which helped that knee. Which made getting on and off the toilet a wee bit easier, but I was still in so much pain. And he had said, right, he thinks, yeah, I don't think it is kidney that's causing the back pain. I think it's the psoriasis in your ribs, along your chest and the ribs and stuff. So he ordered for an MRI. So I was holding on for this MRI to come, so that I could, because you need to be, in order to get the biologics, these meds to help with psoriatic arthritis, you kind of have to go through past some stuff, you know, and if it shows in your spine, automatically you are eligible. So I was holding off. I finally got the MRI, and then I was waiting on results. Nothing was coming, so I started chasing them up. And then I got a letter from the consultant to say, oh, you know, some arthritis showed up in the base of your spine, but nothing inflammatory where we suspected it. So we should probably just continue with the treatments as planned. The treatments as planned was the creams and the lotions, and I cried that day. When I got that letter, I sobbed, and I felt so depressed. My mental health suffered hugely because the pain was just too bad, and the fatigue. I thought, I can't go on like this. I really can't go on like this. So I tried to kind of just got on my life. The pain was just getting so bad. My hands at this point. So at the end of the letter from the consultant, I had said, if there are any changes, then please let me know. So at this point, I was having, my feet are killing me. I think it's plantar fasciitis. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But it hurts to walk on my feet. My toes are killing me. My hands were killing me. My fingers were so swollen, especially my index finger was on my right hand, was so swollen. Everything just hurt crazy, my neck. So I think, oh, and then one morning, so I had to just take the dihydrocodeine because I was like, I can't bear this pain any longer. So this day I took it. I thought I'll just have to put up with the itching, but I went in the shower and nearly passed out. And it wasn't a, oh, I feel a bit lightheaded. It was like, I'm going to go. I am going to pass out. So at this point, I phoned the consultant again and I said, listen, I left a message with the secretary and I said, I am really, 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 really struggling. I've nearly passed out today. I was getting anxiety all the time at this point. I was scared to leave the house, scared to drive. I just cannot express how awful I felt. So I then, luckily the secretary got back to me and she listened to everything I said and she said, it really sounds like they will be able to approve you for the biologics now because it's so widespread. So she got me an emergency appointment to see my consultant like the following week, and I was just so immediately mood lifted because as the pain didn't go away, but there was hope. So I went to see my consultant. I had a massive anxiety attack when I got there because I felt so, like, sitting up was just an effort. Honestly, it just hurt to be alive. It really did. The fatigue was just crazy. At this point, my blood pressure was like 167 over 111. But he was just amazing. He gave me a steroid shot in the butt, so a general one rather than into all the joints. And he then took all the blood tests that I have to take before I can be approved for the biologics. But he says, absolutely, we need to get you on these biologics ASAP. So Cosentyx. So these are like big steroid, big syringe things that you've got to inject yourself with. So it was taking its time, and then it was like, the hold up is that one of the TB blood tests that you have to get done failed at the lab. So we have to have you go up and do this again. So I did. And then he phoned me about a week later and said, they've came back, they're fine, so we can go ahead and get you on the Cosentyx. A nurse will be in touch. So I was like, oh, hallelujah. But I kept getting phone calls from this random number and it looked like spam, like debt. And so I blocked it. Turns out it was Ciensis, which is the place that, I didn't know this is what happened. They deliver your medication straight to your door because you've got to put it straight in the fridge. And then, so eventually managed to get a hold of that, got that arranged. So the medication arrived yesterday, so they're now sitting in my fridge. But I can't take it yet because tomorrow a nurse has to come out and like show me basically some training on how to do these injections, how to keep myself safe, warn me of side effects and stuff. So that has been how long it's been. Oh, I did go back at one point and see my consultant because the finger was so bad. And this time he injected steroid straight into the palm of my hand, straight into near the tendon, because he said that would help. The whole finger, the whole hand, rather than just doing it straight in the joint, which did help. But that thing was spicy. Like, getting that done was super spicy. It stung. He didn't use anaesthetic to lower the risk of infection, but it was sore. But then once it was done, it was done. But by this stage, I am now absolutely, I might add in some pictures when I get home. By this point, I am covered in psoriasis. like everywhere, everywhere. So I have psoriasis all over my body. I also have inverse psoriasis, so like under the boobs, like the belly, everywhere. It's everywhere. But my butt is covered in psoriasis, which, you know, it's just the constant flaking skin. It stings, and I can't stop picking at it because you want to get the stuff off you. So I am constantly hoovering up my skin, honestly, every day, hoovering up all the skin, because the minute you sit down, I'm literally snowing. I am snowing. That's how bad it is. So I am so excited to, although there's going to be anxiety about taking these biologics, I am so excited to not have the skin stuff. I mean, obviously the joint pain, that will be so nice to not feel that. Here's some of the psoriasis, but this is nothing compared to the rest yet. So I'm looking forward to that. The only thing with this Cosentyx is that it can take longer to work. You know, it doesn't happen straight away, but most people have said that it really helps the psoriasis fairly quick. But it can take up to 16 weeks to kind of work, because it's essentially shutting down a specific part of your immune system. So for that reason, I'm already on immunosuppressants. I'm on mycophenolate and steroids for my dermatomyositis. So I've told my sister I am not going to no nativity plate this year. I am not sitting in a room full of people with winter colds and stuff, because side effects of Cosentyx is upper respiratory infections, which have killed some people. So I need to be super, super careful to not get ill. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel with this, but that is my psoriatic arthritis story, how I got there. And actually looking back, so when I was diagnosed with dermatomyositis, I'm pretty sure I was having the joint pain then, and I think that was arthritis, because it did start in my hands. I remember crying trying to get out of my car, just coming back from work every day. So I think personally I've had the two things running at the same time. Maybe one's triggered the other, and it's the psoriasis that came second, because some people with psoriatic arthritis, it starts with the arthritis and then they get the psoriasis, or it's the opposite, it starts with the psoriasis and then they get the arthritis later on. But that is where I'm at with that. So that was the early, you know, start of the year. So hopefully by the end of the year, this treatment is underway and I am doing better. Fingers crossed. Well, I'd say fingers crossed, but it hurts to cross my fingers. But yeah, this is what one of them, I don't know if you can see, no, see all this. No, you can't really see, but at the tip of this finger, this bit is really, really, really swollen, but you can't really see in this video. But yeah, so that's my psoriatic arthritis story. If you are taking Cosentyx, or you know, have good results, anything I should watch out for, please comment. But I hope whatever you get to do today, you get to spend your spoons on something fun.